step into the shadows.
Echoes of the Drain by N.A. Crossley. Chapter 3. The Whispering Room. The night before, Katie dreamt she was underwater, but she could still breathe. It wasn't water exactly. It was thicker, slower, like moving through smoke that had forgotten how to rise. Her feet didn't touch anything, but she was sinking all the same. Around her, the walls of a tunnel floated, weightless and infinite, curving like the inside of a shell. Pale lights glowed on the floor beneath her, flickering like dying stars. Then came the whispering. Not words, not even voices, just a low, rhythmic breath that came from all directions at once. Something moved in the dark behind her. She turned slowly, like swimming through molasses. It was her mom, standing on a distant stone platform, her eyes closed, lips moving, saying nothing. Katie opened her mouth to speak, but no sound came out. Behind her mom, a tall figure in a white robe emerged from the gloom. Its face was a mirror. When she looked into it, she saw herself, but older, pale, hollow-eyed, not breathing. The mirror face lifted its hand and pointed directly at Katie, and the moment it did, Katie's chest began to burn. Something invisible pressed into her, etching letters into her skin. Her mouth opened in a scream, but still, no sound. She looked down at her chest. The words were forming. "It's your turn." She woke with a gasping sob, sitting bolt upright in bed. Rain rattled against the window. Jess was already there, wrapping her arms around her daughter. "Shh, you're okay," she whispered, rocking her. "It's just a dream." Katie buried her face in her mother's shoulder. "It hurt." "I know, baby, I know." Jess didn't sleep after that. She watched the shadows in the room until the sun finally rose. The next morning, Jess dropped Katie off at her grandmother's house on the edge of town. She didn't say much, just that she and some old friends were going hiking for the day. Her mother raised an eyebrow but said nothing. Katie waved with a soft smile, then turned toward the window as they pulled away. Her expression faded. In her lap, she clutched her drawing pad. On the top page, a sketch of a stone tunnel with 4 women standing at the entrance. Watching them from the darkness was a copy of her mother, face twisted into a smile. Back at Jess's house, 10:42 a.m. The clouds were heavy and low when Eliza's rideshare pulled up in front of Jess's house. She stepped out, duffel bag slung over her shoulder, eyes hidden behind oversized sunglasses. Her posture was stiff, jaw tight. Morgan and Carrie were already there, checking over gear in the back of the car. Headlamps, backup flashlights, rope, a med kit. Jess opened the door before Eliza knocked. "You really came. I started packing before you called," Eliza said. "I've been seeing them. Dreaming. Like it never stopped." They stood there for a beat before Jess pulled her into a hug. Eliza didn't resist. Carrie stepped forward. "So this is it, right? We go back. We finish this." Jess nodded. Morgan shut the trunk. "Let's not say that until we know what finish means." 2:17 p.m. Deep Forest, Northern Oregon. The sky darkened as they approached the site. Thunder rumbled somewhere far off, distant but familiar. No one spoke much on the drive. They parked at the old forestry access road where the trailhead began. The path ahead was overgrown now, nature reclaiming what little of it had ever been carved. But they all knew the way. The trees grew dense as they hiked down the muddy incline. Their boots squelched in wet soil. Every crack of a branch or sudden gust of wind made them flinch. And then they reached it. The storm drain still yawned beneath the hill, half hidden by vines and roots, concrete rims streaked with moss and rust. It looked exactly the same. Moments later, inside the drain. The air was cold and still. Their footsteps echoed as they moved deeper into the tunnel, flashlights scanning the cracked floor and wet walls. The main corridor curved left, just like before, and up ahead, the side tunnel. Morgan paused. "This is where we heard it. The first noise." Carrie nodded. "And where we saw that chamber." Jess led the way. The side tunnel opened into the cathedral-like cavern once more, just as vast and haunting as they remembered. The camera on the tripod was gone, but the platform remained. So did the faint circular lights on the floor, glowing gently as if they'd never been switched off. No one spoke. Then Jess stepped forward. "I need to stand on it." "Jess!" Eliza grabbed her arm. "Why?" Jess stared at the platform. "I think I've already stood there. Last night, or in another version of me. They started something. They marked me. They didn't finish." Morgan said quietly, "Then if you do this, you're inviting them back." Jess turned. "They're already back." The cavern swallowed sound like a grave. The only noise was the quiet trickle of water through cracks in the stone and the occasional rustle of cloth as one of them moved. Jess stood at the edge of the platform, staring at it like she was remembering something, not from 5 years ago, but from last night. Her breath was slow and shallow, her flashlight at her side, beam pointed at the floor. Morgan backed away slightly, her gaze darting to the tunnels high above where the procession had once appeared. "Carrie, Eliza, look over there," she whispered, nodding to the far end of the cavern. The two women followed her beam to a low archway, mostly hidden behind a collapsed section of wall. It hadn't been visible before. Together, the three of them stepped carefully around the perimeter of the chamber and approached the gap. "Do you feel that?" Eliza murmured, rubbing her arms. "It's warmer here, like breathing." They ducked into the small tunnel. It opened almost immediately into a narrow chamber, more angular and unnatural than the rest of the cavern system. The walls were made of smooth black stone, carved in perfect symmetry, impossibly old, but untouched by moss or time. At the center of the room, something shimmered beneath a tarp. Carrie stepped forward and yanked it back. 4 body bags, perfectly arranged, lined up, each with a white tag clipped to the zipper. Carrie Winters, Morgan Elliott, Eliza Santos, Jessica Vale. Eliza stumbled back against the wall. No, this is messed up. This isn't right." "These look recent," Morgan whispered, voice cracking, "like someone just put them here." Carrie's flashlight flicked over to the wall behind the bags, scrawled in a thin, chalky white substance, "They go back full, or not at all." Suddenly, a sound from the main chamber, a deep tonal vibration, like a note struck on an ancient stringed instrument, and then the slow creak of chains. Morgan turned. Jess. Back in the main chamber, Jess was already stepping onto the platform. The moment her foot touched the stone, the circular floor lights brightened, not all at once but in sequence, like a ritual waking up from slumber. She stopped in the center. The air shifted. A gust passed through the chamber, rustling unseen dust. The stone beneath her feet pulsed faintly with warmth. From high above, a low hum began, like wind through bone. Carrie rushed in from the side tunnel. "Jess, don't move! You don't know what it's doing!" Jess's eyes fluttered. Her mouth opened slightly. She whispered something. None of them could hear it. Then she raised her head, and her eyes turned pitch black. Eliza screamed. The chamber lights flickered once. Then, from deep inside the tunnel behind the platform, footsteps, not many, just one set, deliberate, heavy, coming closer. And Jess smiled.
Subscribe for more nightmares.